Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to CAM1 Radio, the People's Radio FM 99.5 is the frequency. I am your host, Ekombe Charles Abana, and welcome to the daily press review on this particular network. We kickstart this session today with the Guardian Post, which talks about Cameroon on global stage again as Philemon Yang voted UN General Assembly president. This can be read today on the Guardian's Post paper on page 2 to be most precise. The Guardian Post also talks about the Minfi boss who says Cameroon on path to boost digital innovation and also talks about job opportunities at Koika Cameroon office. The personality of the week has also been put on the paper today, who is none other but Dr. Bison Ogok Untui, who is the Soeda General Manager. Municipal update on its own part talks almost the same thing, which is headlining in Cameroon and says Cameroon scores major diplomatic victory as Yang wins presidency. In the same light, too, the municipal update talks about Camtel launches tender for Blue Tech Challenge and not forgetting that government initiates housing scheme for commercial bikers. All of this can be read today on the municipal updates, which are also in the stands today. L'activateur says today, how is it possible that Faker Foot doesn't get along with the Ministry of Sports and Physical Education? That can be seen today on the newspaper L'activateur. L'Economie on its own part showcases its business summit and what to retain from its second edition. La Voix says Cameroonians have been requesting passports at an alarming rate and questions if Cameroonians are running away from their own country. La Voix also talks about the synergy between an American corporation and the Consumers Syndicate in Cameroon. Mutation on its own part says the indomitable Lions must win their encounter tomorrow against the Blue Sharks of Cape Verde in order to stay at the top of Group D at the 2026 World Cup qualifiers. Meantime, Mutation also says Luke Kwa has kicked the bucket and is no more. This can be read today on Mutation. Informating on its own part says tomorrow the country will have to come as one to support the Lions. There will be no Samuel Etokam, there will be no Mwele Kombi clan, just a nation hoping for the best. Le Reporter on his own part profiles former Prime Minister Philemon Yang and throws more light on his victory at the 79th UN General Assembly in New York. The Drapeau in the same light says Cameroon makes diplomatic history once again following Philemon Yang's victory as he was elected as the president of the United Nations General Assembly. Cameroon Press also capitalizes on the same subject on Philemon Yang, who has been elected as president of the United Nations General Assembly. Lemfo Asho says Cameroon at the head of the world following Philemon Yang's victory. That is the major lead story today on Lemfo Asho. Cameroon Tribune on its own part says Philemon Yang in command. Cameroon Tribune also talks about higher education certificates and says systematic issuance is imperative. Cameroon Tribune also talks about Cameroon Cape Verde encounter, which can be read today on that particular paper. Ekoji Parliament talks about the president of the Cameroon Sports Federation, Honorable Kamsulum Abakabi, who has decided to showcase the International Super Cup horse race, which will be taking place in Maroua on the 12th of June. L'Aigle du Sahel, on its own part, says the subsection of FSNC political party have been installed. It also talks about Honorable Waidere Angelique Epous Benguela, who has offered over 120 checks to pregnant women in Mayo Danai division in the Far North region. Quotidien Réalité talks about 4,219 pilgrims who have expressed their gratitude to President Paul Biya in regards to the Hajj 2024. Quotidien Réalité also says Joseph Emmanuel Mbana edifies media professionals on questions concerning energy, mines, and hydrocarbon. Le Témoin throws light today on the SEP and the first school living certificate examinations, which went on hitch-free all over the nations. These were the words of Professor Etundi Ngwa. That is what the Team 1 has in store for us today on the stands. Meantime, Horizon says Fecafoot is responsible for the organization of the Cameroon Cape Verde encounter. Horizon also says Minister Tanganji helped ease the traveling process and the procedures of the Muslims heading to Mecca. Le Jour, on its own part, dedicated its center page to celebrating the life and death of Daniel Etunga Mangele. Le Messager says Mark Breeze, at the head of the Indomitable Lions, is supposed to do everything within his capacity as head coach to reconcile football supporters with the country's top team, which is the Indomitable Lions, of course, of Cameroon. That's what Le Messager has in store for us. And say Mark Breeze must do everything within his power and capacity to win the match against Cape Verde in order to give Cameroonians a smile on their face again and reconcile football with the supporters. Losua, on his own part, talks Faker Food business at its peak. You can read everything concerning Faker Food business today on Losua newspaper, which is already in the stands today. Ladies and gentlemen, we also have to talk about Bunya. Bunya talks about the business cooperation between Tractor Freak Motors and Michelin. La Meteo talks something completely different and says the city of Bafoussam is already set for the FENASCO Games League B, which is on the stands today on Meteo, La Meteo newspaper, which is talking about the FENASCO League B games. Lloyd Usael talks something different, talks about the special operations put in place to sanitize the Lake Chad Basin and in an operation known as Lake Sanity 2. La Voix de Jeune talks about the Menchum Tayu, who is the promoter of the platform Demalasu, and she is said to have been exposed by the Forahes conference concerning the structuralization of her platform. All of this can be read today on La Voix de Jeune. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we draw a curtain to this edition of the press review on CAM1 Radio, the People's Radio, as you reiterate, and the frequency is 99.5 FM. I am your humble presenter who is always going to be here with you. I am a Comrade Charles Sabani. Take care and God bless you all. See you guys next week for another exciting edition of the papers.